So for a while now, I've always had this idea of making my own save file in The Sims 4. And if you know me, I build very slow, but I also start a lot of projects and don't tend to finish them and come back to them at a later date. And I already have a save file that's not done whatsoever because it's taken me forever to do. But I wanted to do something really different and change the way I build and change the way I really think and storytell in The Sims 4. And so I'm doing the Build Newcrest challenge where I'm building everything in Newcrest, which is a base game world with new houses, community lots, Sims with their own backstory, and really kind of seeing what I can possibly do. But I'm only gonna use but the base game. And so this will be a challenge for me and also for you all if you end up doing it yourself. And if you want to see my other base game builds that I've done in the past, I will link them down below in the description just so you all really know how to really build with base game and kind of understand it and what it basically really is and also what it has to offer. Because I'm telling you, over the course of the 8 years of The Sims 4, we have had a lot of base game updates for build features, gameplay features, you name it, we have had it, and it feels kind of nice to have a bit of a refresher of base game in this day and age of 2022. And so the first house that I'm doing has a little bit of story and that I cannot wait to share with you all. So when I was trying to figure out what to build for my Build Newcrest save file, I thought to myself, we have different lot types that we've had over the years that they've added. And I remember ever since they added in Snowy Escape, the expansion pack, they gave us the option to basically vacation anywhere in The Sims 4 as long as we had that world, we could vacation there. And I was like, base game rental lot, it seemed like a perfect idea. And so this home technically on the gallery is like residential because we don't have a rental lot type on the gallery. And so when you download it, I think it'll categorize it as a residential, but if you want to switch it to rental, you can do whatever you want. But essentially, I wanted to make this into a rental property because I had a little story in mind for this build, and also just for each and every lot that I put on here, they have a distinct purpose of why they the way they are. But in all, rental lots are really, really cool. And ever since they added them in, I was like, wait, now I can vacation like Sulani, or, I can vacation in Tartosa, or whatever it might be. And so having a rental lot in different parts of the world is kind of a good way to expose your Sims to new cultures, experiences, and also not, fork out a lot of money because these Sims houses are quite expensive and your Sims have no time to be buying furniture left and right thinking they're all rich and fancy like Judith Ward on a Sunday afternoon when in fact they're actually broke than Brandy broke from The Sims 2. And so don't get it twisted. You're broke, so don't think you're rich. Okay. But anyway, I think that this home was definitely one of my ultimate favorites to do because I built this on stream and I was trying to figure out how I was going to make it work. And so I gave the option to you all to help me when it comes to like my building and also like my furnishing and layout. And so like if you love builds like this and you want to see more like builds in real time, you can always check me out on twitch.tv/SpringSims. My link is down below and I pretty much stream every single day on there. And honestly, I have so much fun streaming all the time. Whenever I get to like do gameplay or challenges or even building, it's always, fun to interact with you all in real time. So if you're not there, I think you all should check out my Twitch streams. It's always fun. I'm there every single day. But most of the part, I think when we were building this house on stream, I didn't want to go above and beyond. I didn't want to go crazy with the furniture or the clutter as I usually do. I wanted to keep it very family friendly, very family centric for the furnishing and just the general style. And I tend to gravitate towards a lot of suburban houses because I lived in a suburban house literally all my life. Like I'm 26 years old and I've always lived in a suburban house, so I don't know anything different. And so when building The Sims, I'm like, that's my go-to. I'll build this and see what I can really do. But it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home in Newcrest on a 30 by 20 lot. And like what I did actually is I forgot. I disabled all of my packs when building, all these houses and community lots for my challenge that I thought to myself, wow, we really don't have a lot of stuff when it comes to like, lot types or lot traits or lot challenges. Like it's so weird to see how much we don't have in the base game, but it's like kind of good to know that what we have in the base game. And looking at everything, I only added in 3 lot traits. There were no lot challenges besides off the grid, which I was not going to do. But I think I added in fast internet, bracy breeze, and I think the homie lot trait. I think I did. I do not remember, but I know I added in Bracy Breeze and fast internet because rental property, Bracy Breeze, fast internet, it's really attractable when you have high speed internet in a home that you can rent and live in for a while. But I think that honestly, for this home, for like the general story is that for my entire Newcrest like save file, is that Newcrest was founded by the Darby family, and each and every world has, or I guess each and every lot and sub neighborhood have their own street name, which I think is a really cool idea. And it's something that I've always wanted to do, but never really knew how to do properly. And since we can't change the name of our worlds in The Sims 4, I thought, some neighborhoods will have like, Newcrest, Newcrest Road or Ferry Way or like, some other Ashbury Lane. But this row of houses or like this row in this neighborhood of Newcrest, I actually have it. It's called Darby Lane, and we're currently at 445 Darby Lane. And what's so cool about this is that I really, really, really love this family. I haven't made them yet, but you'll see them and kind of understand their story a little bit more once I explain in this video and maybe the next video. But the Darby family, they toxic. I do not like any of them. I love them because I made them, not yet, but you'll see. But I already hate them because let me tell you, there's a sim named EJ, Elton Jones. I almost said Elton John because I was trying to figure out how was I going to name these sims, but Elton Jones used to live in Newcrest all his life from back from the 1920s or whatever. And so that was founded in the late 1910s. And I think that's when Newcrest, was founded. But now EJ is no longer living, and since then he has had kids, grandkids, the whole shebang. And the Darby family is a very prestigious family. They live pretty much on the largest lot in Newcrest on Darby Lane on a 40 by 30 lot. And they actually live right next door to this rental property because this property is owned by the Darby family because Elton wanted to have Newcrest be a sense of community and a sense of, excitement and joy and not feel so down in the dumps and dirty and kind of boring and not fun to live in. He wanted Newcrest to be a place where families can come and go as they so please and be able to grow their family, build their families, build their legacy, build their businesses, however they want to do it. And kind of see the future to be in a better place. And so basically, the story of this exact lot, it says EJ Elton Jones once owned this home back in the late 1970s. Since then, he has passed down to his daughters, Iris, who turned this into a rental property to earn income to support their business. So they own actually one of the other lots in this Newcrest save. And since in Basing, you can't really own properties if you don't have, I think, Get to Work. Yeah, and so since I don't have Get to Work installed for this whole save file, they don't really own the property, but it's in their name based on the story. So if you have Get to Work, you can always have them own a property if you would like to. But essentially, they own the Newcrest gym. They own the Newcrest gym because Elton Jones was a boxer, an athletic person, had high metabolism, he reached the top of his career. So he was a very heavy, athletic, boxing type of person. And so part of the Newcrest, gym is a boxing arena in the center of the gym. And I will have that build at some point in the future when you all see it. But essentially, there's a little boxing ring with boxing, punching bags that I think we have in base game. I think we do. If not, then I might be thinking of something different. But essentially, he loved working out. He loved the whole thing. And he wanted to be able to have his home turned into, a sense of place where people can come to every once in a while. And ever since Iris, took on the family business and had this house, Iris was like, wait a minute, I could probably turn my father's old house into a rental property where I'm still keeping it in the family name. It's updated a little bit, but still keeping the family values, but with an added touch of family values, like a sandbox, some gardening boxes, a swing set, a telescope, picnic, stuff like that. And add any new furniture here and there to make it, more attractable for other families who don't really have a lot of money to really, thrive. But essentially, Iris is definitely a sim that you will love, but also come to hate. When you basically kind of play through Iris's story and everything once I make Iris, and also then definitely also add in, the grandkids and whatnot, because Iris has two kids named Billy and Sandy. So Billy and Sandy, great children. So far, not sour, but Iris, she crazy. Anywho, for the most part though, I think that this house has come together very, very well. I didn't talk any much about the build, but I wanted to talk about the story behind the build so you can kind of understand what I'm coming from. Where Iris doesn't really technically live here. It's more so your Sims can rent this property for how many days. And it's not that expensive. When I was building the home, I didn't think it was going to be, I thought it was going to be really, really expensive. When I looked at it, I'm like, that's very, very cheap. So for the price alone, it's nothing more than 1,000 simoleons. So your Sims should be pretty much okay affording the home. But for the most part, I wanted to show you the real-time build of this house so you can see what it looks like, because I did cut out a few things that you didn't technically see, but I also kind of want to, again, explain a little bit more of the home that I could not do in the speed build. However, this home that I just built today is only costing your Sims 730 simoleons per day. And so it's relatively affordable for your Sims to stay here for at least maybe 5 sim days or even more if they can afford it. But in all, I think this home is pretty nice for the decent size that it is. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 30 by 20 lot with bracy breeze, fast internet, and the homey lot trait. Now, this is actually what the house looks like from, live mode, basically. But I wanted to go with something very symmetrical and very basic when it came to the entire home itself, or the backyard. I didn't want to go too much with adding a pool or anything. So I just added in planter boxes, a little sand pit, a little jungle gym, a picnic table, and also a deadly telescope, because you always gotta have one in your backyard that may or may not, unalive your sim, but that's the price that you're willing to pay for a good view of the stars. But something that I always forget about the base game when it comes to sand is that ever since we got, I believe, Island Living, they added in the feature in base game, as long as you put sand anywhere on your lot, your Sims can actually play in the sand and make sand castles and stuff like that, which I think is a really, really cool, cute feature, especially for children. Think of the Rugrats sand pit, but you can put it in the Sims. So this is the entrance area, and again, I didn't want to go too much with the clutter, so I added in a little shoe rack, a little guitar, a little backpack, a little mirror. And I felt that if kids were going to live here for a couple of sim days, they might as well have some toys like a Blarfy and maybe a little kids toy box and some seating area over here. And also sometimes when people go on vacation, I always find it that people play guitar for some odd reason. And so I wanted to add in a little mini guitar here just because why not? A little sing campfire songs in the backyard or whatever you might really do. And I wanted to keep the kitchen and dining room open plan by adding a spandrel in the middle so it's separated but open at the same time. But honestly, looking at this kitchen, I'm really in love with it because I wanted to go with a blue and white and yellow color scheme. And if you didn't know this, a while ago they gave us some new swatches in base game for these specific counters and cabinets that I thought these are really, really cool. And I don't know why we don't have more of this stuff, because I really like the basicness of these counters and cabinets and they match. And so the more that we have basic related kitchen building things, the better the game will be for base game for a lot of users who are only having the base game or a few Pacific packs. But I really like this kitchen. I love the island. I love the dining room. I added in a little bar because I think that some Sims might, drink some juice every once in a while and, drink something. And then we have the small little rinky-dink living room, which honestly, I didn't know what to do with it. I was going to add in a coffee table here, but I felt that it wasn't needed. So I left it the way it was for the small little living room. I was going to actually add the living room in here and make this the dining room, but I felt that, they're not going to stay here that long. They don't own the property. So I felt that, only having a small little living room just made perfect sense. So basically, this is where all your Sims will be sleeping for how many days they will be staying here if they can afford it. We have the master bedroom here with a nice little brown, green, and yellow bed with the bookshelf, an easel. I also added in a computer because I felt that they don't want to go to the library. They can always stay here. And I could have added in the laptop we got from base game, but I felt like a standard computer made perfect sense for this home. So just added in here. And then we also have like the wardrobe over here with the nice little ottoman. And then of course, the kid's bedroom with one bed, a dresser, and a nice little kid, crafting table, which I felt it was kind of needed. And I think that honestly, sometimes kids or teenagers might use the same table, but for this object right here specifically, only kids can use it. So I felt that only a child would stay here for a couple sim days, or a kid might live in this bedroom if they never leave their home after vacation, like Home Alone, number 1 through 6. But regardless, a kid will use this table with their nice little mirror and of course, some posters and a little guitar if a teenager stays here. So 2 guitars in the home and a nice little kid's crafting table. So it's kind of peachy, kind of cool. And to be honest, I didn't think I was going to use an accent wall on this side, but I felt it was kind of different and I wanted to change the way, I use base game. Plus I'm using items that I normally would not use or have not used in a very long time. So doing it like this way with the accent wall for the brick and like using carpet in maybe like years is kind of cool. But either way, as always, I do hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below, as always, of what you thought of today's speed build. Especially let me know if you have ever built a rental house in The Sims 4, because honestly, ever since Sony Escape, this has been a literal game changer for a lot of different reasons to vacation in any world of our choosing, and it's base game. So base game is getting better, and I'm kind of happy about that. But regardless, as always, I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!